Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a Dazzled or Disappointed for you on the Urban Decay Backtalk eyeshadow palette. Was not intending to pick this one up. It was on my loves list, then I took it off, and it ended up somehow, I ended up picking it up anyways. So I have used this quite a bit, have quite a few thoughts for you, have it on my eyes today. So let's just go ahead and do this deep dive on details, swatches, thoughts, all that good stuff, so that you know if this is for you. All right, so this palette I feel has gotten a lot of mixed reviews. More, in all honesty, I think people are absolutely hating it. So it's not even mixed, I think it's just people hate it. This is what the box comes like. It does mirror or mimic the actual palette, which is nice because that means I can toss the box. The back of the box does tell you what it comes with, the 8 shadow shades, the 4 face products, and let me read you what the back says. It says, "Who doesn't appreciate a good old-fashioned clapback? Inspired by Backtalk, the cult favorite Vice lipstick shade, this palette holds an insanely flattering all-new range of nude mauve, pink, soft berry, and muted rose shades for eyes and cheeks. We made dreams a reality by creating 2 must-have palettes in one super sleek case, with eyeshadow shades on one side and blush and highlighters on the other. The double-sided removable mirror in the middle separates the goods. Now forget that you're a lady and give them what they deserve." So this is, like I said, the packaging, nice and thick. It's very sturdy feeling. It's cardboard, but it's that kind of cardboard that feels thick and like it's really durable. So I do want to give you a couple of details off of the Sephora website. It is $46. We'll go into whether it's worth that much or not. It's kind of a toss-up sometimes on whether a item made for a store specifically, so this is Sephora only, should be a little bit less in price or should kind of be the same as, you know, normal releases. I don't know. Size is 0.38 ounces or 10.98 grams total. Again, you have 8 eyeshadows, 4 face products. I will already tell you up front, it has 3 out of 5 stars on Sephora's website. Off of 122 reviews, you already know that that is not good. So I had read a few of those, and I've told you in the past, I really don't like to kind of do a whole lot of in-depth reading and looking if I know I'm going to purchase and review a product because I don't want to be influenced. Doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes I can't help it. I'm like, I'm just so curious. In this case, because it had intrigued me when it first released, and I thought, I don't need another Urban Decay eyeshadow like this. That's no big deal. And so I removed it from my loves list, and then I really love mauves, roses, and berries. They make my eye color pop. They also make my skin color look a little bit more healthy, more glowy. And then, of course, to top it all off, Tati had said in her video that it was that she really liked it. And so I'll come back to that here in a second. But as for packaging, that's what that looks like. It's very thick, and that's because you have the mirror in the middle, and then you've got the 2 sides of product. You open this bad boy up, and this is what it looks like when you open it. You've got the mirror in the middle. You've got 2 sides of product. The mirror pops out. I love this mirror. It's like, I don't know, it's really clear. The way it is long this way, which is, I guess now that I'm thinking about it, as any eyeshadow palette, I don't know, for whatever reason, I feel like I can see myself so much better. In fact, I see I need to correct my lip gloss. And I don't know if it's because, you know, in a normal palette, I feel like you hold it and you've got all the shadows. It's a little bulkier. With this, it's super easy to hold on to grip. And it's so clear. I feel like I can see so much. I really do like this removable mirror. I know Tati had said she wasn't crazy about it because it increases your chances of losing it. Yeah, that's true. I will also tell you that without the mirror, it does not properly close. That's as good as you're going to get without the mirror. It doesn't even magnetically close because it requires the mirror in order to, like, completely seal. Here we go with the 2 sides of product. You've got the eyeshadows and then you've got the face products. So let's just go ahead and dive into swatches, then I'll take you into thoughts and close-ups. First 4, we have our 3 sheets, Bare, Curve, and Backtalk. I did a bad job swatching Backtalk. I am so sorry. Let me do that again. That's definitely operator error. And that's what that looks like right there. Super natural, super romantic type shades. You know, not everybody's cup of tea, but that's what those look like right there. Last four, Shade Attitude, WTF and 180. That's what those look like right there. So these are a little bit, you know, more intense, a little bit richer, as far as not as soft and pale as the other shades go. I did also read on the Sephora website, there was a comment, something about this palette being kind of meant for all skin tones. So we will keep that in mind. I always like to point that out because I never feel something can be universally flattering. There are a few things I think that appeal to most ranges of skin tones, but I don't think anything can ever be super universally flattering. So we'll get back to that here in just a bit. The four face products in this palette are Cheap Shot, Double Take, Low Key, and Party Foul. So obviously 2 blushes, 2 highlighters, and that's what those look like right there. I have been wearing the blush for the past, or the blushes and the highlights for the past few days. So have thoughts for you on that, but let me give you a little bit closer. I know face products are a little bit, sometimes a little bit more of interest to people. Okay, we've made it through swatches. Now, let me zoom you in real quick. I like to do that before I go into final thoughts because I feel like then sometimes I forget to do the zoom in. So, let me tell you what I'm wearing on my face and eyes today. In the crease, I am wearing Backtalk, which is the Dusty Rose matte shade. The outer portion of the lid, I am wearing 180, which is the darkest shade of the palette, and I will say it's probably what I have found to be the most pigmented of the palette. On most of the lid, I'm wearing this berry shade, which is called Shade, and on the inner portion of the lid, I am wearing Curve, which when I bought it, I thought that would be my favorite shade just based on how it swatched in store. So that's what I'm wearing there. On my face, I am wearing Double Take, which is the second blush in the palette, and I am wearing Party Foul, which is the lighter of the 2 highlighters. So let me zoom you in real quick, and then I can walk you through that once more. So, and I am wearing something on the lower lash line, which I forgot to mention. Okay, Backtalk, which is the matte Dusty Rose, is on my crease. Outer lid is 180. The middle shade is called Shade, and then the inner corner or the inner portion of the lid is called Curve. On the lower portion of the lid, I also have Attitude, which is that, it's not the berry shade, but it's the coppery berry shade, I guess. On the lower lash line, on the outer part of the lower lash line, I am wearing the darkest shade, which is 180. And that's what I have got going on there. So let me just zoom you out just a bit and I will show you my cheeks. So again, I am wearing, what's it called? Double Take as the blush. The highlight is Party Foul. I will also tell you, I am wearing the Cover FX Glitter Drops in Ethereal underneath, so it gives it a little bit of pop. I have noticed that it doesn't give the highlight as much of a pop as I would like, although it still looks pretty darn good. But that's what the whole situation looks like for this palette. Everything basically, all eyes and all cheeks are this palette right here. So let's just go ahead and jump into thoughts real quick. Now, the reason it's getting such bad reviews on Sephora's website is because people are saying literally this has no pigmentation. I don't even know what's going on. The first 3 shades, which is 3 Sheets, Bare, and Curve, people are saying they're not getting any pigmentation whatsoever. You have to build it up. I mean, $46 kind of expensive to have to do that. Now, okay, let me finish that thought before I move on to another. And is that true? I have kind of found that to be true, and I was hoping it would not be. So I will tell you that I really love the color scheme to this palette. Like I told you, berries, like certain pinks, purples, when you go into the purple kind of range, they make green eye colors pop. And in addition to that, for whatever reason, it makes my skin tone look a little bit more warm and healthy. I don't even know how that's possible. I'm a light to light medium with neutral undertones, and it does that to my skin tone. I have no idea why. I have found that to be the case. Now, there's certain shades that I feel perform very, very well. So Backtalk, I love it as a crease shade. I think it goes on beautifully. It builds up so nicely, blends like a dream. 180, which is the darkest shade, goes on really smoothly, nicely, very opaque. Now, when you get to these two shades, like the berry and the coppery berry, they do have pigmentation. You have to build them up, because it's not literally just one swipe and you're good to go. What's on my lid took 3 layers of application. This WTF also is very smooth to the touch. I feel like it goes on, blends very well. I do like the pigmentation. It's true what people say. These first 3, I'm not sure what's going on. Now 3 sheets, I use like a kind of a wash to set my concealer that I use as an eye primer, or my eyeshadow primer, whatever the case may be, or obviously a brow bone highlight. Now, here's what I don't understand, is that in store, the reason I was swayed to pick it up, other than Tati's video, which, let me address that, I have noticed with Tati's likes and dislikes, what she likes, I tend to not like very much, I have noticed, and what she doesn't like, I tend to like very much, which is strange. Now, I also tend to go this way when crowds go this way. So if you remember, I loved the Subculture palette by Anastasia. I loved the Natasha Denona Tropic palette, and people just, the Subculture especially, people hated that with such a passion. The Tropic palette is getting such mixed reviews. A lot of people aren't liking it, saying it's not her regular formula. There's no pigmentation. So maybe it's a bad batch, I don't know. All I know is I loved it. So I thought, there's a really good chance if people are hating this, that I'm gonna love this. Again, usually I've noticed though, if I watch one of Tati's videos and she loves something, I end up really not liking it, and vice versa. So she liked this palette, I think, quite a bit. And so, but I wanted to kind of take the risk just because I love these types of shades for my eyes. And so, as far as face products, I've never been the biggest fan of Urban Decay face products as far as blushes and highlighters. Whatever the reason for that is, I don't know. But I've never been a fan. But I thought, okay, well, you've got like a whole bundle, and when you travel, you've kind of got it all here, which is nice. Now, back to my thought about swatching it in store, what makes no sense is that when I swatched it in store on 2 different occasions, the pigmentation it blew my mind. It was so good, so soft, like especially this curve one, which I told you was the one I expected to love the most. So pretty. Like, I mean, these went on with such saturated pigment when I swatched them and put them on my hand. For whatever reason, mine doesn't do that, and apparently a lot of people's don't do that. And I have a feeling this is not, I don't know this 100% to be true. I have a feeling if you get through the first layer, then that's when the really good pigmentation comes about, because it makes no sense. When you have a tester at the store, what's going to happen? People are going to be rubbing on that all day long. People are going to be swatching, testing. So that has had plenty of love. It's had plenty of swipes, swatches, all that good stuff, and it swatches beautifully. This, being semi-new, is, you know, hasn't had a whole lot of love yet, and so I don't know. I have a feeling that to be true. Then again, when you pay $46, you kind of don't want to have to work through a first layer or 2 of product in order to get to the good stuff. As far as the face products, the blushes are incredible. I love the blushes. They go on so naturally, so beautifully. I literally just touch my brush into the palette and it picks up quite a bit of product. But even at that, when I put it on, it doesn't overpower, like I don't look like clown cheeks or anything. It looks so good. And I build all my blushes up about 2 times. So I usually put 1 layer unless it's a super intense blush. And then I usually go in with a lighter second layer, which I did with this. And I love it. I love how natural and pretty it looks. The colors to these blushes pair perfectly with the color scheme to the eyeshadows. As far as the highlighters, I really do like Party Foul. Something a little bit interesting about the kind of tone of Party Foul is it's almost like when you put it on, it looks champagne to me, at least in the pan. When you put it on, it almost goes on like a pink gray. I know that sounds gross. I know that sounds weird, but it does have almost like a grayish tone. It doesn't look bad on me though. It ends up making my skin look pretty healthy, which that blows my mind. I don't have anything with that kind of tone to it, which is strange. Now, as far as low-key, it's a little bit more of a orangey type of highlight, which that sounds bad. And if you know, when you saw the swatch, it's not orange. I'm just saying it's kind of orangey. it's a little too much for me as just a highlighter with my skin tone. So somebody, yes, of deeper skin tones, that would look beautiful. But then Party Foul would look ashy. So Low Key is more of a blush topper for me, maybe even like a highlighter blush. Definitely not an actual highlighter. Now, I've also noticed in the times that I have swatched that with my finger that it's kind of, it looks like it's kind of getting hard pan. I can't tell for sure, but it looks like it is. I don't know. I guess we'll see about that. But anyways, not super thrilled about that one. Really like Party Foul. So as far as this being universally flattering, kind of no, because these are beautiful, even though my ladies with deeper skin tones, I don't think Party Foul is going to work for you. I do think both blushes would work. I do think Low Key would work for my ladies with deeper skin tones. Going to the eyeshadows, because they take so much work to build up, and because some of them, even on my skin tone, don't look like they show up. So again, going back to curve, even with 2 layers, it hardly shows up. So in all honesty, and then with me having to build these 2 up in order for good intensity, I just question whether this, you know, I don't, is it really even worth it for my ladies with deeper skin tones? I really don't think so, because you're getting into these deeper shades. Okay, well, who wants to pay $46 for 2 blushes, a highlight, and 2 eyeshadow shades? Not really a whole lot of people. Anyways, so I don't hate it. I don't love it. I hate giving that kind of review on a Dazzled or Disappointed, because you're here to see whether I loved it or hated it, or I just, maybe hate is such a strong word, whether I loved it or really disliked it, whether I was dazzled or disappointed. And honestly, I'm kind of in the middle. I do love the color scheme. I think it makes for a really nice natural look. Is it worth $46? Probably not. It's probably worth more, like, I don't know, if it goes on sale, then I think it's worth picking it up, which it may very well might, especially at that rating that it's getting. So I do like it. The days that I have used it, I've really liked the natural look that it's given. I really like the glow, healthy kind of warmness it's given to my face. The only thing is, I expected, based on the swatches in store, even though it was getting bad reviews, I put that out of my mind, I was kind of expecting to really like this. So kind of in the middle, it's not all that. Now, what I do want to give you side by side on is, so Naked 3 is known to be kind of the rose gold of the Naked palettes. And so given that this palette right here, the Backtalk, has those rosy mauve shades, I kind of wanted just to side by side them for you so that you can see how they compare. If you already have the Naked 3, so that you can see if it's something that, like, you have, you know, similarity on. And let me do this and bring it up to you. So if you can see, the Backtalk has more of those darker berry type shades. Your Naked 3 is going to have more of those lighter type shades, those lighter romantic type shades. I don't think it's very similar, quite frankly. Like, for example, Backtalk, the that matte dusty rose, there's nothing like that in the Naked 3. So for people thinking it might be a good comparison or a good similarity to Naked 3, I really don't think so. And that's one reason I was really hoping that this would be hit it out of the ballpark, because of the fact that I love these tones and they're different from what is in the Naked 3. So I hope you have found this helpful. Again, I know it's not always super helpful when you have kind of an in the middle, but that's what it is. My 2 cents for whatever it's worth. Alright guys, before I let you go, you know I have to give you the verse of the day. It's my favorite part of the video, and it's called, it's from Mark 6:31, and it says, "Come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest." I can't even tell you how much rest you can find in Jesus. It's just such a chaotic life, and there's times where I find myself like so overwhelmed, so anxious, so like everything's overbearing, and you feel like just overwhelmed. That's just what it is. There's a song, if any of you listen to K-Love, there's a song by, I think his name is Johnny Diaz. Oh gosh, I hope I'm not totally saying that wrong. I think that's his name. It's called Breathe, and this verse reminds me so much of that song. It's just about letting everything go. Just quiet the world and just come sit at Jesus's feet and get some rest. Just breathe. And in this world where it's run, 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 because I know my life is like that, it really is hard to just sit. There's a verse that says, "Be still and know that I am God." Just be still. Just get some peace and tranquility. guys, if your life is like anything like mine and it's go, 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 you know exactly what I'm talking about. I hope you found that encouraging and inspirational. Not here to shove anything down your throats. You guys know that. I'm just here to help encourage you and to help bring the love of Jesus to you into your everyday lives. I hope you found this review helpful. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video, guys. Take care. I love you all. Bye-bye.